Thank you for visiting the Combs Waterkotte website and our YouTube channel. Our criminal defense law firm in Illinois has over 400 perfect reviews and a long history of client satisfaction, dismissals, charge reductions, and victories. We have created these audio articles to help protect your freedom, reputation, and rights. If hired for your case, we will not give up until you get fair justice. Sex offender registration violations lawyer in Southern Illinois. Accused of violating sex offender registration laws in Southern Illinois? The consequences are serious, including felony charges, prison time, and permanent registration. At Combs Waterkotte, we understand how to fight registry violation allegations, defend your rights, and protect your future when everything is on the line. What are the sex offender registration laws in Illinois? Illinois requires individuals convicted of certain sex offenses to register with local law enforcement under the Sex Offender Registration Act, 730 Illinois Compiled Statutes 150/. Registration includes providing your current address, employment information, school attendance, and other identifying details. Failure to comply with these requirements can result in additional felony charges. Your future is on the line. Call Combs Waterkotte's Sex Offender Registration Violations lawyers at 618-88-CRIME for an immediate consultation. Registration requirements for sex offenders. Registered individuals must update their information annually, or more often if they change addresses, jobs, or schools. Those classified as sexual predators or violent offenders against youth may have to report every 90 days. Registration obligations typically begin upon release from prison or parole and remain in effect for 10 years, or for life, depending on the offense. The law also mandates that offenders notify law enforcement within 3 days of changing residences, employment, or school enrollment. Provide complete and accurate information during scheduled registration renewals. Carry a valid form of government-issued identification that matches registry records. Common types of registration violations. Failing to meet registration requirements can lead to new felony charges even if the original offense occurred years ago. Common violations include failure to register initially upon release, failure to update address changes or employment status, failure to register after relocating to another jurisdiction, providing false or misleading information to law enforcement, failure to register electronic communication handles such as email addresses or screen names when required. What are sex offenders not allowed to do in Illinois? In addition to registration, Illinois law imposes restrictions on certain activities for registered offenders. These include living or working within 500 feet of schools, parks, playgrounds, and daycare centers, loitering near school property or areas primarily used by minors, having unsupervised contact or communication with individuals under 18 in certain cases, participating in child-focused holiday events, such as handing out Halloween candy or dressing as Santa Claus, operating or being employed by businesses that primarily serve minors. Violating these restrictions can lead to additional criminal charges, extended supervision, or new terms of imprisonment. What crimes require sex offender registration in Illinois? Under the Illinois Sex Offender Registration Act, individuals convicted of certain sexual offenses must register with local law enforcement. The registry is designed to track individuals who have committed serious offenses against minors or adults and to alert the community of their presence. Some of the offenses that trigger mandatory registration include criminal sexual assault, aggravated criminal sexual assault, predatory criminal sexual assault of a child, aggravated criminal sexual abuse, child pornography offenses, indecent solicitation of a child, sexual exploitation of a child, soliciting a minor for sexual purposes, kidnapping or unlawful restraint of a minor, if sexually motivated, internet-based solicitation or grooming of a minor. In some cases, even an out-of-state or federal conviction can require registration in Illinois if the offense is substantially similar to those listed above. Registration may also be required for attempt, conspiracy, or solicitation to commit one of these qualifying crimes. It's important to remember that once you are required to register, any future noncompliance, even for technical or unintentional mistakes, can lead to new felony charges and extended registration periods. Consequences of registration violations in Southern Illinois. Failing to comply with sex offender registration requirements in Illinois is not treated as a minor mistake. It is a felony offense with serious penalties. Even an unintentional error can lead to arrest, new felony charges, and mandatory sentencing under state law. Felony charges and penalties. In Illinois, the severity of a registration violation depends on whether it's a first offense or a subsequent offense. First violation, Class 3 felony, punishable by 2 to 5 years in prison and a fine of up to $25,000. A mandatory minimum $500 fine also applies. Second or subsequent violation, Class 2 felony, punishable by 3 to 7 years in prison, with increased financial penalties and stricter supervision terms. In addition to incarceration, courts can impose extended registration requirements, stricter parole or probation conditions, and mandatory reporting for longer periods. A violation can also eliminate your eligibility for certain diversion or early release programs. Impact on employment and residency. Beyond prison time, a registration violation can significantly worsen the long-term challenges you already face. A new felony conviction may make it even harder to find and maintain employment due to an additional criminal record, lead to stricter restrictions on where you can live or work, trigger new or updated public registry notifications, increasing scrutiny, cause the loss or denial of professional licenses, certifications, or educational opportunities. How long does a sex offender stay on your record in Illinois? In Illinois, a sex offense conviction and any subsequent registration violation remains on your criminal record for life. While some individuals must stay on the sex offender registry for a minimum of 10 years, others, including those convicted of violent offenses, child exploitation, or aggravated sexual crimes, are required to register for life. Expungement or removal of such convictions is virtually impossible and is only available under extremely rare circumstances, such as a governor's pardon or successful legal challenge. Defending against registration violation charges. Just because you are accused of violating sex offender registration requirements does not mean a conviction is inevitable. With the right defense strategy, it may be possible to reduce the charges, minimize penalties, or even have the case dismissed entirely. At Combs Waterkotte, we approach each registration violation case with careful attention to the facts and a determination to protect your rights. Missed deadlines versus intentional noncompliance. One key distinction in these cases is whether the violation was accidental or intentional. Many alleged violations happen because of misunderstanding confusing reporting rules, administrative errors by law enforcement or registry officials, life circumstances such as hospitalization or emergency relocation. Proving that you acted in good faith but missed a deadline or misunderstood a requirement can make a major difference in the outcome. In some cases, prosecutors may be willing to negotiate reduced charges or alternative resolutions when intent to deceive is absent. How administrative errors can affect your case. Mistakes by registry officials are more common than many people realize. We investigate whether authorities failed to provide you with proper notice of reporting obligations, paperwork was mishandled or improperly filed, changes in address, employment, or other information were incorrectly recorded. If law enforcement or registry administrators did not properly fulfill their legal duties, it can be a strong basis for a motion to dismiss the charges against you. How do I get off the sex offender registry in Illinois? In Illinois, removal from the sex offender registry is extremely limited. Only certain juvenile offenders and individuals whose convictions are overturned, vacated, or pardoned may be eligible for removal. In rare cases, you may petition for removal after a waiting period if specific legal conditions are met. But for most adults convicted of qualifying offenses, registry requirements are permanent. If you believe you may qualify for removal, an experienced attorney can evaluate your case and guide you through the petition process. Hiring proven Southern Illinois sex offender violation attorneys. Alleged violations of Illinois sex offender laws are serious and often complex. At Combs Waterkotte, we've defended clients across Southern Illinois facing first-time and repeat charges. We understand the rules, the deadlines, and how to fight back. With discretion and determination, we work to protect your rights and pursue the best possible outcome. Contact a sex offender registration violations lawyer in Southern Illinois today. Accused of violating sex offender registration laws? Don't wait. Early action can mean the difference between a setback and a life-changing conviction. We're ready to act. Contact us online or call 618-88-CRIME for a confidential consultation.